You don't need to tie somebody up to tell them you have the clap.
No, since that goes away with penicillin, I would imagine there's no bondage needed for that conversation.
We'll know sooner or later, right?
Well, it probably wouldn't be right to go through October and not tell you a ghost story, but this one definitely breaks one of the biggest horror story rules.
You can never have sex.
Here's It Follows.
Is it any good? No.
So we meet Jay, a girl enjoying a swim on an overcast fall day. After she drowns an ant and possibly fantasizes about doing the same to a squirrel, her sister Kelly invites her to watch a movie with her friends. They're watching an old 1950s movie, like all the cool teens do, but really, Yara's reading on her electric birth control case, and Paul's just there to flirt with Jay.
Hey, Jay.
No.
Too bad for him, she has a date tonight, and he's taking her to see a much better 1960s movie. Since they got there before the trailers, they play a people-watching game, but when Hugh guesses that she would trade places with the girl that Jay can't see, he suddenly wants to get out of there.
Do I smell bad?
The next day, Jay tells Kelly about her date,
I was acting kind of weird last night.
Why doesn't he just want to have sex with me?
but that night, Hugh gets a six-pack and takes her in the woods. Then they go back to the car and bang.
You bored right now?
No, shut up. Let me finish.
After, as she remembers being a little girl always wanting a boyfriend, Hugh chloroforms her ass and knocks her the fuck out.
It's really nice of you.
She comes to, tied up in a wheelchair in an abandoned building. He says he doesn't want to hurt her, but she won't believe what he's going to tell her until she sees it for herself. See, when they banged, he passed something to her.
You don't need to tie somebody up to tell them you have the clap.
No, since that goes away with penicillin, I would imagine there's no bondage needed for that conversation.
So like AIDS?
No, he passed on a ghost that's like a STD hot potato. If you get it, then you have to bang somebody else to pass it on. But if it kills that person, it starts coming back after you.
Just pass it along.
Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
So Hugh rolls her to the edge so she can see it coming, and tells her that it can look like anyone that will allow it to get closer to her. So in this case, it becomes a naked lady on the train tracks, because it doesn't know her yet? I don't know. But to prove to her that it's a sexually transmitted murder ghost, he lets it come up the stairs and get really close to her before he gets her the fuck out of there. He's also nice enough to drive her home and dump her out in the street in her underwear.
Okay, good luck.
Luckily, Kelly and her friends were drinking on the porch playing Old Maid like teenagers do, and they call the cops. Now Detroit must have a really low crime rate because the cops find out that morning that Hugh gave a fake name to rent a house to try to bang a random girl.
I slept with the man and I don't even know his real name.
But she just goes on with life like before, having neighborhood children spy on her and going to school. She looks out the window and sees an old woman walking towards her in a nightgown that no one else can see.
It can look like anyone. Whatever helps to get close to you.
Yeah, that won't stand out on a college campus.
Like the chameleon.
Yeah, she thinks it's weird too, so she leaves class and the thing follows her.
Plus, at that age, you can go to the bathroom anytime you want.
It's probably taking a shit right now.
Then she drives to the ice cream parlor where her sister and Paul work, and he volunteers to spend the night with her to keep her safe. Jay says that's fine, but Kelly thinks she's gone through enough creepy guys this week. But they settle on letting him stand watch on the couch.
Just keep your door locked.
That night, Jay can't sleep, so she goes down to talk to Paul, where a window breaks in the kitchen, so he goes to check it out. He doesn't see anybody, so he goes upstairs to let the others know. But when Jay checks it out, she finds a beat-up hooker pissing herself in the kitchen.
Everything about me invites you in. My voice, my face, even my smell.
So she runs upstairs and locks herself in her bedroom. Paul and Kelly get her to open the door, but when Yara comes, she thinks it might be pretending to be her.
That would be smart.
Yeah, that would be smart, but the real Yara is at the door. And then when she leaves it open, a giant dude comes in. So Jay jumps off the balcony and fucks off on a neighbor kid's bike. Her friends catch up with her at the park. She's on a swing with her back to half of the park. And a couple minutes later, we see that her neighbor Greg even ditched his date to go check on her. Paul tells him that somebody broke into their house, and no one seems concerned that their mom is still there or that she didn't wake up with all that screaming.
She wakes up at 5:15.
Then Jay says that they need to find Hugh, and Greg's like, I'll get my car so we can go find the dude that the cops couldn't locate in the middle of the night. So they're going to start by going to his house. Now Jay told the police that she had seen his place before, but didn't go in. So this means that he pulled up to this house with boarded up windows and an overgrown yard, and she still thought it was a good idea to not only continue the date, but to have sex with this dude that's squatting at a potential crack house.
I'm a stupid woman.
Once they break in, they see that he has makeshift burglar alarms on all the downstairs windows, and the upstairs ones are covered in newspaper. Now you'd think that he'd want to see out to be able to see it coming, but then you realize it's the room Hugh is jerking off in. and the newspaper was to keep people from seeing him coming.
If I had a black light, the place would look like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Paul's also so used to Jay not being interested that he doesn't mind moving Hugh's cum rags to look at porn in front of her.
Pervert.
Well, that may be, but his perversion leads them to find a picture of Hugh and his girlfriend in said porn, and they now have a possible way of finding him thanks to the Letterman's jacket his girlfriend's wearing in the picture Paul probably shouldn't have touched without gloves on.
Sticky!
So Jay and Greg go to the high school Hugh went to and ask the secretary who he is, and she shows him a yearbook. Then back in the car, they tell the rest of them that his real name's Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
Jay also missed the gonorrhea ghost coming after her on campus because, for once, it actually tried to blend in. Either that or this chick has no fucking clue where she's going.
Help me, I'm lost. I don't know where I am.
So they go to Jeff's house, and he freaks out when he sees a girl coming, even though she's not beelining towards Jay like he knows she would if she was the haunted Herbie. He then explains this to them and tells them that it has to walk to wherever you are, so if they go far enough, they can chill for a bit. He also wants her as far away from him as possible so that it'll take longer to get to him if she dies. See, he already knows what happens if it catches up to you. He had a one-night stand and caught it, but he passed it on to his girlfriend Annie, who appears to have died trying to breakdance on the beach wearing high heels.
That guy don't break dance.
So they like the road trip plan, and Greg takes him to his parents' lake house, where they drink to try to copy Jeff's security system, but fail miserably at placing the cans at a height where the syphilitic spirit might actually hit them. Then they go to sleep and have pervert Paul watch for the thing he can't see.
There's no one there.
So he just watches them sleep, like a creep.
I'm not a pervert.
Now on the way there, Greg mentioned that his dad took him hunting at this house. So the next day, he has Jay do some target practice with a revolver.
Maybe it's just for protecting the house.
He keeps it in a box in an unlocked shed down by the beach. So now you gotta wonder, what Greg and his dad hunt?
Sounds like people.
Almost for sure.
Later, when they're drinking by the lake, Greg goes to take a piss 5 miles away as Yara comes up the path. But then, we see that Yara's in the water.
The fuck?
So the Yara in white walks up behind Jay and pulls her hair a bit.
Don't let it touch you.
But the others see this, and Paul hits it with a lawn chair and gets bitch slapped across the beach.
Oh, is this one of your cheap trips?
Then they run to the shed, get the gun, and Jay opens fire on White Yara. Unfortunately, Greg has stopped peeing and has turned the corner just as she starts shooting.
Does he get hit?
No, he hides behind a beach chair, so of course he's safe.
See, everything's okay.
But she does hit White Yara in the neck, but she just gets back up. So Jay closes the door, but it turns into the giant again, walks past the window, and kicks the bottom of the door open. Then, it's nice enough to fuck off long enough for Greg to question why they're freaking out over the door kicking itself in and nothing being out there, only for it to return as the little rat boy neighbor that's always peeping on her to climb through the hole. Then after Jay runs out the boat door, it becomes Annie and starts to follow her.
Am I supposed to know who that is?
Jay steals Greg's car and drives off, even though her friends run after her and are far enough away from the chlamydia Casper to get in. But she doesn't get far, because some dude is backing out of his driveway, and she overcorrects, drives into a field, and gets knocked the fuck out. Now their emergency services must be top notch, or really fucking bored, because they get her to the hospital before the genital wart wraith can get her.
Because they're fast.
She then wakes up long after they put a cast on her broken arm, her mom drove there, and was there long enough for them to fall asleep. Well, it's actually no surprise that Yara's asleep. I'm pretty sure she's narcoleptic.
Well, why don't you go take a nap?
But Jay hears somebody coming down the hall and knows that in her condition, she needs to pass it on. So she has sex with Greg, where apparently he likes to keep his shorts on.
Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
But he's the one who doesn't believe it's real.
Shut up, he woke up first.
And these are your only two options.
So 3 days later, she's still in the hospital for what should have been an outpatient injury, but Greg still hasn't seen the venereal visitor and doesn't think it's after him. Then when Jay's finally home, she's staring out her window that night, like you do, and sees Greg in thermal underwear with a stick up his ass walk up to his house and break a window.
Why would it look like him if it's going to go kill him?
Well, maybe it didn't want to look suspicious to all the people in the neighborhood who can't see it.
Yes, as a master of disguise, you have no equal, my friend.
She tries to call, but when he doesn't answer, she runs over and breaks in too. She gets upstairs, where she sees that it's turned into his mom and is banging on the door. And when he opens, she pounces.
Oh, Mom.
And when Jay gets to the room, his mom is banging him.
What the fuck, Mom?
So I guess not only did he get hard from his mom popping a tit out,
You have a massive erection.
but he really does have weird pull it out of the fly sex.
Dude, that's weird.
So his mom bangs him and he dies.
There's worse ways to go.
Name one.
Now that it's back after Jay, she fucks off and goes to sleep on the hood of her car in the woods.
This is bear country.
The bears can smell the menstruation.
When she wakes up, she hears some guys on a boat. Now, I'm not sure whether she swam out there and had one or all three of them bang her, but her cast definitely has some water damage from her getting in the lake.
You've been busy.
Paul comes over later and sees that she's still paranoid, so he offers up his penis to the cause, and she shoots that right the fuck down.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
So he questions why she banged Greg, and she says at first because he wasn't scared.
Because he didn't believe her.
True, but then she says that they banged before.
It's me, Greg, the Gregster.
So since Jay won't bang him, Paul offers an idea on how to kill it, which is good timing because it's on the roof naked.
It was nice to meet you and your huge dong.
Apparently he was going to try to Santa Claus his way into the house instead of just attacking them when they were packing the car.
I may be wrong, but you are not the real Santa Claus.
So now we know that either she chickened out of the boat gangbang or whoever called dibs first died very quickly.
You didn't even warn them, did you?
They're going to the community pool, and instead of parking close to the building, they decided to park 2.2 miles away and carry their luggage all the way there. Then they plug in about every household item they had, and their plan is to lure the sexual spook into the pool, then shock the shit out of it, live, laugh, toaster bath style. But when it shows up, it doesn't get in, and just starts chucking shit at Jay. So Paul gets the gun they stole from Greg and shoots Yara. It's also taken the form of Jay's dad, so I guess the paranormal penis pox is like, I fucked you into this world, and I can fuck you out of it.
I'm fine, Dad.
Kelly gets the idea to cover it with a sheet so Paul can find it, and not shoot her either.
That would kill me.
Then when she gets it, Paul shoots it in the head, and it falls in the pool. But as Jay tries to get out, it grabs her and pulls her under. So Paul starts shooting over Jay, but luckily hits it with a headshot. She gets out, but Paul wants to know if it's dead. So Jay crawls over to the edge so she'll be low enough for it to grab her, but only sees a fuck ton of blood. Then, just to be safe, she goes home and bangs Paul.
Hot potato, hot potato. Hot potato, hot potato.
Then he goes and gets a hooker.
She's very classy.
Now that he might only have a regular run-of-the-mill STD, he and Jay start dating.
I had this image of myself holding hands with a really cute guy.
You should be more worried about waking up and finding Paul humping your leg.
Oh, come on. They say that you shouldn't have sex in a horror story. And in this one, if you have sex, they had a killer come after them. How does that break the no sex rule?
True, those stories definitely frown on being promiscuous. But in this story, they're basically saying that the only way to put an end to the punishment of you being a whore is to just be a bigger whore. So that's fun.
I didn't even realize how bad it was.
I want to help.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
It is the only way you can save your own life when the time comes.
Can we go?